Hello and welcome to MDTV, the secret source of inspirational leadership, where we get rid of the noise and reveal what you really need to know faster than you can boil a kettle. Today we're heading for room 101, where I lock away all the things I really can't stand. For starters, we've got the queue you're in that doesn't move when all the others do. Middle laners on the motorway, and finally, the worst of all, people who blame everyone else for everything that's wrong in their life and don't take any personal responsibility. I mean, seriously, what is it with these people? All they do is complain, whinge, moan, nothing but negativity all the day long. It absolutely does my head in. And they never do anything about it. Why? Because they blame everyone else. They haven't done anything wrong. They don't need to change. It's everyone else that's the problem. And do you know what? Not only do they lead miserable lives themselves, they are complete mood hoovers, bringing everyone else down to their level. The only way they light up the room is when they leave. But that's it. They're not leaving the room. We are locking them away in room 101. Their time is up. And anyone who can't take personal responsibility for their life or their team, or the results they're getting, then I'm sorry to say it, but they need to head for room 101 too. So, it's time to make a choice. Where do you want to be? Because there will be things about your life, your team, and your results you need to work on. Stop waiting for someone else to come and fix them and get to work. Because the people around us don't come with remote controls. We can't press fast forward, tempting as that might be, or pause. And the off button is probably slightly unethical. The only way we can influence someone else's behaviour is through our own. Nelson Mandela put it like this: I could not change others until I changed myself. He knew the secret of rule number 2. He knew rule number 2 is exactly where you turn once you've nailed rule number 1. Because whilst rule number 1 says it's not about you, it's not all about your solutions, your ideas or your ego, rule number 2 takes it right up to the next level. Rule number 2 says stop waiting for everyone else to get their act together and start cleaning up your own act. Rule number 2 says the only thing you can control is your own behaviour. So rule number 2 says it's only about you. And I'm going to be a pedant here, because occasionally someone will quote rule number 2 back at me as, it's all about you. Nope. That's just the teenager who thinks they're the centre of the universe. That's not rule number 2. Rule number 2 says it's only about you. It's only about your behaviour. That's the only thing you can control. Once you've nailed rule number 1, rule number 2 is exactly what you need to create the team of your dreams. Because your team become a reflection of you. Nail rule number 1 and rule number 2 and your team will take off. Every day your team will get better and better, more and more aligned and well and truly heading in the right direction. And you know what? Amazing things happen when your leadership team are at their best, pulling together and heading in the right direction. And that's what I do.